Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Targeted Loot today for September 16th, the series that shows you the targeted loot map, targeted loot highlights for the day, farming tips and tricks, vendor reset highlights, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy my content, please consider smashing the subscribe and like buttons below. And also check out the video description and pinned comment below for links to my new merch store with awesome Shadow Gaming merch, my Discord server, and join my Shadow Crew clan on PC, Xbox, and PS4, especially by this weekend because PS4 is doing the Dark Hours raid for the Eagle Bear Saturday and Sunday, so join now. Thanks, agents. Alright, let's go ahead and get started with the Dark Zones first and the highlights from the DZ vendors, then DC, then New York City last. So over here in DZ West, we got Wyvernware. We also got the Calibre with perfect jazz hands. I probably mispronounced that, but it's the name shotgun with perfect jazz hands on it. And then Wyvernware you can farm for claws out holster that gives you plus 500% melee damage and then plus 10% pistol damage as well. And then DZ South you got gear system mods, but there's no DZ exclusive for it, so I don't recommend farming for them here. At the vendor, you have the 0F's chest piece with perfect unbreakable. It's rolled with armor, crit hit chance, and skill haste, so just roll that skill haste off. Try to put crit hit damage on it for like a good DPS build. And then DZ East, of course, you got shotguns. Now, you can get the rock and roll shotgun with perfect extra. It's an awesome shotgun. It drops pretty easy from conflict caches, or you can just farm it today in DZ East since it's shotguns. And then also at the vendor, you have the Hollow Man. It's rolled with armor, damage to health, like it always is, and then explosive resistance. Now remember, named items at the Dark Zone vendors cost 152 DZ resources. So, to get DZ resources, you have to deconstruct loot in your contaminated bag and then extract them. Otherwise, you'll just extract marked as junk loot, not the actual DZ resources. Now, every single piece of loot that you deconstruct in the DZ is one DZ resource. So you have to just fill your bag, mark them all as junk, and then crush them all, just deconstruct them all. And then once you have as much DZ resources that you have in your contaminated bag, or however many you feel cool with extracting, then you go extract it. And then when you go back to your stash after you're done extracting, it'll just have DZ resources. And then you can put those in your inventory. I think the most you can carry is 300, and it costs 152 for a named item at the DZ vendor. Alright agents, Northside highlights, we got Aralda Holdings at Camp White Oak. Also real quick, the invaded missions for the week, Grand Washington Hotel. We also got American History Museum. And then it also looks like we got Viewpoint Museum over here. And then District Union Arena, Stronghold. And then finally Tidal Basin at the end. So Aralda Holdings is great for headshot builds, usually around 2 pieces, 3 pieces, aces and eights with a perfect headhunter chest piece, the chain killer chest piece. And then of course, China Light for explosive skill damage builds, so usually run that with a demo spec, couple of pieces of Grupo Sombro. Badger Tough, you can farm at the amusement park for the 0F's chest piece with perfect unbreakable. Otherwise, most people don't farm Badger Tough, you usually just want that one piece for the 10% shotgun damage, or the 0F's with perfect unbreakable. And then Gila Guard, well, I've only had one subscriber tell me that they have a really good build with Gila Guard, but I haven't seen it yet. So like I said, comment below on why you farm for Gila Guard, because I never have. I've never farmed targeted loot for Gila Guard. I think I might have back when I made my one and only shield build that I never even made the build video for. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe something came up, but sorry guys. This was back in like TU 8 or 9, but yeah, comment below on what's your favorite reason why you farm for Gila Guard. That'd be awesome. Alright agents, we're over here on the west side of DC. Let's check out the highlights for it. We got rifles at West End. So of course, M1A, you want to get the best damage talents like Rifleman, Ranger, and Boomerang. Or you could throw In-Sync on it if it's a good skill build. You know, that way you can always up your skill damage. And weapon damage as well if you're doing like a turret drone thing. And then of course, the Diamondback and Merciless exotic rifles. Alp Summit, you can get the percussive maintenance with perfect tech support. Although you usually want tech support on Wyvernware or Hana Yu. So you might want to farm this for like a healer build, like a chest piece with empathetic resolve on it, because it gives you plus 20% repair skills. That's what I personally do. That's one of my healer builds. And then of course I have the Future Initiative chest and backpack, which I think might be better than the empathetic resolve, but I haven't figured that out totally yet. We got Hana Yu at Bank HQ. So Force Multiplier backpack with perfect combined arms. I mean, It's always worth farming for that. I believe I have one on every single character. Yeah, you get perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. You run that with like kinetic momentum or glass cannon. All these good talents syncing together. And you always want skill haste and skill damage if you can. And then that empty utility mod slot is going to turn generic on the 22nd. So you'll be able to put another skill haste or skill duration mod into it. So that's going to be awesome. We also got assault rifles at Constitutional Hall. So of course you can get the Chameleon exotic assault rifle, which is definitely worth it. And I have a build for that. I'll put in the top right card if you're interested. And then you can get the burnout named FAMAS. And then I think that has like perfect on empty or something like that. It gives you a lot of weapon handling after reload, like 45% weapon handling or something like that. You can also get the Maniac. That one's a named military AKM. And then the top tier ARs are the FAMAS, the military AKM, Carbine 7, Police M4s, G36s, and the P416 variants. Douglas and Harding at DCD headquarters if you want the punch drunk mask with 20% headshot damage baked into it. That one goes great with the Dodge City holster builds. And then of course, the perfect headhunter chain killer chest piece. It's all about that headshot damage for sure. And then of course, Walker and Harris & Co. at Foggy Bottom. So like I just said, with the perfect headhunter chain killer named chest piece, you can farm that at Foggy Bottom today. You got a couple of control points here, 3 of them. Remember, comment in the comment section below. Have you gotten the Matador with perfect adrenaline rush? Comment below if you've gotten that in the light zone outside of the dark zone, because I always thought it was DZ exclusive, except for I've gotten it from targeted loot rewards. I've never gotten it to actually drop though in the light zone. And then Grupo Sombro at Roosevelt Island, you can do 1 piece for that 15% crit hit damage. That's for DPS builds. 2 pieces for the explosive skill damage builds, because it gives you 15% explosives damage. And then usually that rolls with the utility. That always rolls with the utility mod slot. That's also going away and going to be generic. You can throw like a red mod on it if you want in TU11. And remember, that drops September 22nd. That's not even a week away. I think it's like a week away. All right, and then also we got Petrov over here at West Potomac Park if you're looking for the contractor's gloves. I say this like every episode, but remember, contractor's gloves aren't mandatory unless you're running an LMG. They give you 8% damage to armor. And unlike the Fox's Prayer knee pads that give you that 8% damage to targets out of cover, that one is more mandatory than the damage to armor for sure. And if you want me to explain in detail, just let me know in the comment section. But I think I've gotten that point across to all my subscribers and viewers. If not, please always feel free to ask questions in the comment section. I try to respond within the first few hours, but always before the first 24 hours. We also got Providence Defense at Tidal Basin. It's a big mission with quite a few bosses, so that's a good place to farm the sacrifice with perfect glass cannon, or just get better god rolls, or the highest rolls you can possible right under god rolls for your DPS builds that have 3-piece Providence Defense. You got gear sets at DARPA Research Labs. It's Black Tusk. It's a little bit tougher than normal probably, but you can get anything except for System Corruption, which is DZ exclusive, and then the Foundry, Bulwark, and Future Initiative chest and backpack pieces, which are still locked behind this Iron Horse raid over here. And then yeah, that's pretty much it over here for the west side highlights. You also got Overlord at the White House. So if you are looking for those Fox's Prayer knee pads with that 8% damage to targets out of cover, farm those 2 control points, or try to get some bounties over here, but I guess there's none today. Remember, 8% damage to targets out of cover. Mix that with 10% damage to targets out of cover on your weapons. I think it pretty much goes on any weapon, just about any weapon. They're always on LMGs. That's multiplicative damage that is better than crit hit damage. So after you get your 60% crit hit chance, and you're up to at least like 150, maybe 160, 170 crit hit damage, stack everything else into damage to targets out of cover. You only put it on your weapon and Fox's Prayer knee pads. It's the only places I know of that you can actually get that attribute, and it's multiplicative damage, the best damage in the game, like amplified damage. Alright agents, we're over here on the east side, targeted loot highlights. We do got submachine guns down here at Southwest for that No Hope Hotel XP farm, which I'll put in the top right card right now. You can get the Lady Death, you can refarm the Chatterbox, you can get a Vector or any Vector variant. think the Vector 45 ACP is the best one because it has the most mods. And then of course the MPXs, the safety distance, perfect outsider, and swap chain. You could farm all those right here at No Hope Hotel, or the choke, you know, either one, but I'd rather do No Hope Hotel over and over again. That one's really fun and easier to do. It's done every like maybe 6 or 7 minutes. And then let's go back up here. Or let's just start from the bottom now. Gloves at Space Admin. It's not Black Tusk, but you could still get the BTSU gloves. They just don't have a higher drop rate chance because BTSU, you know, any NPC from BTSUs, the Black Tusk, they drop the BTSU gloves have a little bit higher chance to drop them. And then you can also do contractor's gloves, but I always recommend farming Petrov for those. Same with, you know, Overlord is better to farm than knee pads for the Fox's Prayer knee pads. And then you got chest pieces at Air and Space, which is True Sun. So that's tardigrade armor, the exotic chest piece. Definitely try to farm that today. It's True Suns. It doesn't always land on a day where it's not, you know, where it is actually True Sun's mission. So I would definitely try to do that for sure today. You got knee pads over at East Mall. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 control points to farm for today. That's Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, which gives you that 25% bonus armor when you cover to cover or vault. And it reloads your weapon. So when that backfire SMG comes out that makes you bleed every time you reload, remember, that's not going to be an issue if you're running Ninja Bike. And I bet a lot of people are going to do that because the bleed resistance mods went from 20% to 10%. So no one's going to want to roll like 10% hazard protections on their build and run nothing but 10% bleed resistance mods on their Hunter's Fury backfire SMG builds. And then for the legendary loot, we got China Light, Grupo Sombro, and Mask. So Mask, you can get the Coyote's Mask, the Vile Mask, and the Punch Drunk Mask. Wyvernware, 10% skill damage. That's about all it's good for. You usually want to run 1 piece of that, 2-piece Hana-U, and 3-piece Hardwired for a good assault rifle or assault turret striker drone build, which I'll put in the top right card right now. Golan gear for that 10% status effects that you run with a 4-piece Eclipse Protocol build with Imperial Dynasty holster or the Vile Mask. And Sokolov Concern at Federal Triangle. You use that if you're using it in SMG as your primary weapon. You replace Providence Defense 3-piece with Sokolov Concern 3-piece if you're running an SMG. If you're running anything but an SMG, then you usually run Providence Defense. Or you mix Providence Defense and Sokolov for the most crit hit damage you can get, I think, in the game. And yeah, that's about it that I see over here in the east side. Pretty much everything in DC. Let's go check out what we got in New York City, and then I will let you guys go. Alright, agents, we got light machine guns over here at Civic Center. So that's the exotic Bullet King and exotic Pestilence. And then, of course, you can get all the named ones like the Sleipnir, the Carnage, the Good Times, the Perfect Fast Hands. And then, of course, the new Reliable, which has like perfectly optimized on it. It's insane. I have a build for that as well. I'll put in the top right card right now, but definitely check that out. Fenris is always good for that 10% assault rifle damage, and the plus 20% reload speed from the 2-piece is actually pretty cool. And I use it on one build and I forget what it is, and I haven't even published it yet. I haven't had time with school, so I apologize for that. You got holsters at 2 bridges. You can farm the Imperial Dynasty holster, and then of course the Forge holster that gives you 50% extra shield health, which is adding a whole new skill tier to your shield. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. Grupo Sombro, Alp Summit, you know, Richter and Kaiser's pretty good for healer builds. That's pretty much it that I would farm for over in New York City. And then these, of course, are in DC. So it's up to you, personal preference, if you want to farm them in New York City, like at Wall Street, which is a great mission. Liberty Island, I probably wouldn't farm for Grupo Sombro. I'd farm that over there on Legendary if I could, or Roosevelt Island, or Heroic at the very least. And then pistols at Pathway Park, you can get the Mozambique Special. There's a couple of named pistols, I think. And then, of course, you can get a D50 to craft the Liberty with. If you already have the Liberty, you can farm it, target a loot pistols. Like I said, though, I highly recommend just doing those 3 missions in the quest order to get the Liberty and then using a D50 to craft it. It's the fastest way. People used to do that to farm exotic components. It's really easy to do, so I would definitely just go do the quest over and over again for the Liberty, or once if you need it. Of course, you have to do it first if you need it anyway, so I don't know what that meant. But anyway, let's go back to DC and wrap this thing up. Alright, agents, well, that was the targeted loot for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoy my content. Click the join button below to further support my dream of being a full-time content creator, and check out the Discord and clan in the pinned comment below, as well as my new merchandise store. That really helps me out, guys, and it's some awesome merch as well. Take care, agents, and be sure to stay tuned for more daily videos and much more. And remember, on PS4, we're having the Dark Hours raid Saturday and Sunday, and I'm trying to get it together for PC and Xbox clan members as well. So hit me up in Discord and we'll get something going, guys. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in my next video. Take care, agents.